Hey y'all, how's it going? My name is Jasmine Dayton. I am a fiction author specializing in fantasy and science fiction, but I do like to do a little bit of everything in between. The day is finally here, the beginning of 2025, and because of that, I have got a little writer's wrap for you. So stick around if you want to use any of the tools that I was able to make and use throughout the year of 2024. If you would like to skip this portion of the data-driven writer's wrap that I have for you, you can go ahead and skip over here to just look at the goals and the systems that I am planning on putting together for this coming year. Last year, I decided I wanted to be a little bit more intentional when looking through my word count. Now, I am not a big person who is under the impression that you should write every single day and that word count is the end-all be-all, but I wanted something a little bit more measurable, and I wanted to see how I would do throughout the year of 2024 of making those different goals via word count. Overall, I was pretty surprised of how much I was able to accomplish this year, while also seeing some weak points and some weak spots of how I can do better this following year. I've made a few adjustments to the actual writing tracker as well, and if you would like to use it for yourself, I have created a version that you can copy and paste for yourself, adjust however you need to, but keeping in the basic lines that I used beforehand. So you are more than welcome to find that. It is in the description below if you would like to use any sort of word tracker. For the last year of 2024, 76% of my writing days, I was able to meet my word count goal. Throughout the year, the word count goal changed several different times. During the July NaNoWriMo month, I made the goal 1,000 words per day. During the beginning of the year, it was 300 words a day. And during the end of the year, I bumped that goal up to 500. Not as much as Camp NaNoWriMo, but still a lot more than what I started in the beginning of the year. My longest streak was 13 days. A streak is consecutive days in a row of writing. So the longest amount that I ever hit was 13 days. But for the majority of the time, I didn't really hit too many consecutive days, and I had a lot of single day streaks. As far as the projects that I was able to work on, a large majority of them did go to my project called Sleepless Wonder, which is a single story science fiction. I worked on this one quite a bit because this was the end of my first draft and also the beginnings of my second draft with this story. Escape the Safe House was slightly a little bit behind there. I'm about on the third or fourth draft with that first book, and then the other projects that I had, Escape the Chase, Heroes Haven Anthology, and Just Damaged, not as much went on with that. Just Damaged, I actually decided to ex-nay after starting it for my NaNoWriMo project, potentially. A lot of things happened in November. So it does make sense of why Sleepless Wonder ended up taking more precedence over those other projects, and Escape the Safe House was not too far behind, but there were some plot holes that I needed to fill in and really think about research-wise before continuing on. Sleepless Wonder was a pretty easy one to get a good amount of word count in, both for the first draft and second. One thing that I would like to work on for next year is that only 28% of the year were writing days, which is relatively low. So let's go back to the next chart and see what my best writing months were. It's no surprise that July did end up being one of the best writing months because I had a large challenge of Camp NaNoWriMo, but it's also not surprising that I took a major dip in August because I definitely overexerted myself. At the beginning of the year, I had a pretty good streak as well because I was feeling motivated for the beginning of the new year, and it slowly trickled down. It's interesting to see that there was actually a dip in March. For half of March, I was actually out of town. So travel certainly affected the month of March, but we did pick back up a little bit in April. And then in May, I moved to a different state, which also had a heavy effect on my writing days, but we trickled up a little bit more in June since I was here on my own while my husband was gone at work in another state. August, we had a huge dip, and then September, it evened out a little bit more. My goal for the year, as far as word count and writing, I feel like I am going to keep my word count where it is right now unless I consistently keep on hitting above 500 and closer to maybe 750. I'm going to try and increase that gradually as I go, but I have another idea of how to keep track of another goal that I'm going to add to the tracker this year that was actually not on the 2024 tracker. And without further ado, we are going to move on to the actual writing goals for 2025. I know that I didn't mention too much about how my channel itself was doing, but my channel did experience quite a few subscribers this year, which I am so genuinely grateful for. Thank you so much for your support and watching all these videos, even with me trying to figure out my footing and trying to see where exactly I fit in with this AuthorTube community. You guys are the best, super supportive, and I am excited to continue meeting more AuthorTubers and giving you some better content this year. Oftentimes I struggle with the word goals because a lot of times I feel like in order to accomplish a goal, you really need to just willpower it, and I am not much of a willpower person. Learning a little bit more about myself and how I have ADHD has really affected the way that I want to accomplish my dreams. And so for this year, instead of author goals for 2025, I am putting up author systems for 2025. Basically what I did is this. I know that a lot of people have different ways of how they figure out their own systems, but this is how it worked best for me when coming up specifically with my author goals. I basically did a huge goal dump. I wrote down all of the different goals that I have for writing, period, which is inclusive of writing on YouTube, writing with friends, getting into beta reading, getting beta readers for my work, even lofty goals such as becoming a bestseller. I added those all into the goal dump, and then I basically circled 3 of those goals that I felt like were most important to achieve right now. And the top goal that I have, I'm definitely gonna need your guys' help on. My goal for next year is by the end of the year to have 1,000 subscribers, which is a big ask considering that I am barely under 500 subscribers as of right now. My content has not been consistent. I have been trying to figure out exactly what I want to do on this platform, and I've been trying to figure it out for the past 4 or 5 years. But this time, I actually came up with a system and an action plan. The reason I want to gain 1,000 subscribers is a little bit more than just having a YouTube channel that has 1,000 subscribers. I genuinely do value the camaraderie and the relationships that a lot of AuthorTubers have across all of these different platforms, and I feel like that's something that I was really missing out on when I first started my journey. So I am going to make a large effort to connect and reach out to a bunch of those AuthorTubers, which is funny because it kind of connects to my second goal, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The 3 steps that I am planning on doing of how to accomplish this is 1, giving you guys more quality content. What I mean by quality content is no longer just filming things on my phone because I all of a sudden don't have my camera charged as usual. I never have those batteries charged. Really making an effort to make the videos nice for you guys to look at, and also a little bit more planned out. And planned out does not necessarily mean, oh, I want to make 1 to 2 videos every week, because I've tried that before and it hasn't really gotten me anywhere. But another way that I feel that I will be able to give you guys quality content is giving you a little bit more variety in what I am offering. I have had a plethora of ideas of what to do with this channel for a really, really long time. And I know that I have announced a bunch of different things that I want to do, things I'm interested in doing, and I do 1 or 2 of them and they work really great, and then I just get a little bit burnt out. I do have some great plans for you, and I am going to make the decision of not telling you what those plans are. I am going to try and surprise you. I don't want to set up any expectations or make promises that I can't keep, so this is me holding myself accountable and making sure that I will actually be able to get good content to you guys, and with that, trying to give you some more tools and some more freebies to use that help me with my writing, which is a big reason of why I wanted to add in my writing tracker that I used for last year and am continuing to use for this year. I'm also hoping to get some more reach with different people on this platform. I know that there are so many people that love AuthorTube, that love BookTube, that are looking for some more creators that maybe have a little bit of a different outlook on certain things. And that is what I'm hoping to provide you. I'm also hoping to, of course, be a better and bigger supporter. This is not just about me. This is a whole entire writing community. And I feel that I have hit the mark a couple of times, but have really missed the overall picture in the point of connecting with other people. The fact of the matter is that us authors are not in competition with each other. Even though it is a very competitive market, we are here cheering each other on because we all feel that our stories need to be heard. This is me shouting out into the universe and hoping that I will be able to find even more people to support and root on and all of that sort of stuff. So a lot of this is just me kind of coming out of my shell of wanting to be more of an extroverted person, even though I myself am very introverted, very guarded. Usually I am trying to break free of that. Now on to goal 2 that I kind of mentioned before is connecting more with people and how I am going to be connecting more with people. One of the biggest mini goals that I have for this is trying to meet 1 to 2 new friends each month and seeing if I can collaborate with them, whether that be through writing sprints or with another sort of project that we could do together, beta reading each other's works, all of that jazz. So this is me also putting a number to my different goals that I have in mind. I feel like goal 1 and goal 2 almost kind of mesh together with each other, because the way that I am going to be able to reach out to more people and gain more subscribers is also being a person that reaches out and is a subscriber to all sorts of other people. It is definitely difficult. YouTube does not make it easy to find newer channels or channels that are a little bit smaller, similar to mine, but I am hoping that I will be able to find you guys somewhere out in this internet world. So if you are a smaller content creator that focuses on reading and writing or editing, please, 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 please leave a comment down below and let's be friends. Another announcement that I wanted to make to you guys of a change that I am going to be making on my channel, well, less of a change and more of an additive, is that I am going to be coming out with newsletters. Different newsletters talking about different types of topics that are writing based, also some book suggestions and some funny little story times and anecdotes about writing that I have come across that I hope will help you along your journey. And that link is also in the description below. We're doing a lot of links in the description below today. And now we are finally coming back full circle from where we started, from what I did last year for my writing tracker versus what I am going to do this year for my writing tracker. Like I mentioned before, I am going to keep my writing goal daily the same and just try and write as much as possible, just seeing how much I can do in a single streak. I don't really have a goal as far as a streak. Again, I am not a proponent of you have to write every day in order to be successful, because I know that for me, that leads to burnout. But one thing that I am going to do that I realized during December is something that is a huge weak point for me is more hours writing. So more hours writing could be inclusive of editing, of marketing as far as my writing goes, actually writing down new content, or even just making content for this YouTube channel in general. I want to add that as a part of my hours of writing. The reason I want to do this is because I realized that while I was trying to do Write-Miss, which I have to give myself credit for, I did 7 out of the 12 days, didn't do all that bad, but I realized that my big dream, my mega dream of becoming a full-time author and being able to just write stories for a living and still make a good amount of money is not only unrealistic for me right now because I don't have anything published and I have yet to make any sort of big waves in publishing companies or even self-publishing, but I realized that I am lacking a lot of the grit to self-motivate myself to be able to write every single day and basically be my own boss. I am not quite ready for that yet. And so I realized that being a full-time author is about 40 hours a week that you need to hit. I think it might be 30 to 40 hours, honestly, like 35 to 40 hours a week. I'm not sure. I don't know what the definition of a full-time job is. I know usually it's 40 hours, but that's also the max. And I was thinking to myself, well, what if I made the goal to try and become a part-time author? And I did the math. Not possible with me having a 9-to-5 job. It's just not possible. It would literally take up the majority of my free time, and I want a little bit more of a work-life balance than what that would provide. So I shrunk the goal even more. And I still feel that it would be a lofty goal. Basically, my aim is for this to be starting as a side gig. So for the next little while, at least for this first quarter, because I'm going to try and break these down into quarterly goals, I am going to try to at least write for 10 hours a week. I may have to readjust that goal, all things depending, but the hope is that I can full-time write for a month. So 1 week is 10 hours and then 4 weeks is 40 hours. That's the goal. And of course, I want to be flexible with these hours. Like I mentioned before, I would also be including marketing things like videos and making shorts and making reels as a part of those hours, because I feel like that would be inclusive of an author's job is to market themselves. I am hoping that I will be able to, again, this is another goal that might be a little too lofty and I will need to adjust, but a way that I am hoping to help myself accomplish this goal is giving myself a half hour in the morning before I go to work to work on different projects, whether it be marketing for this YouTube channel or writing my stories. That way I can at least cut down on a little bit of time each week so that after work I'm not scrambling to hit these 10 hours, or the weekend I'm literally just spending 7 straight hours writing. So as a recap, my goals are to get 1,000 subscribers, and I will do that by giving you guys more variety of content, higher quality of content, and reach out more to others. Number 2, we are going to connect more with people that are in the AuthorTube space and becoming friends, beta reading for others, having people come on streams on my channel, and just rooting them on in their projects as well. And we will be needing to make 1 to 2 friends a month, new friends, and give myself more hours to write and do all of the things that I want to do. This is a little besides the video. This is kind of just for everything that is going on in my life right now, but my main word for this year is manifest. This year, I want to manifest my dreams into coming true. I feel like for a lot of my adult life, I've been putting a lot of things on the back burner that are my hopes and dreams and what will make me genuinely happy in this world, because I was literally surviving. I am past the point of being in my early 20s where that was a little bit more of a consistent thing. I am 27 this year. I am going to be turning 28 in August, and I kind of just want this to be the beginning of a new life. I have a beautiful house. I have 2 beautiful dogs. I've got a wonderful husband. We're hoping to expand our family more, hopefully this year. And I just feel like this is a really great time to start living the life that I've always dreamed. And I want you guys to be a part of it. So thank you so much for following this journey with me of what I was doing last year and what I will be doing this year. I want to give you guys even more content to look at and to help with your writing and author journey. I can barely call myself an expert, but I've been doing a couple of things the past few years, and I hope that I could give some insight while also getting insight from all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.